Welcome, friends, to Small Claims. Each week, we'll journey into the ever chaotic, always entertaining world of the 2025-2026 council season. At the center of it all is our commissioner, Dan Marks, part referee, part ringmaster, and the man tasked with keeping this unpredictable league from spiraling into total madness. Then there's me, Kartik Reddy, longtime competitor, perennial bridesmaid, and a seasoned skeptic when it comes to my own luck in this league. Together, we'll untangle the wins, the blunders, and the rivalries that keep us coming back week after week. No more stalling. Let's make our claims. Back to Small Claims, your one-stop shop for all things Council Fantasy Football 2025-2026 edition. It's been a busy week. The teachers are back in the classroom. Dan Martin's off to a brand new job, and most importantly, the draft is officially in the books. Tonight, we'll break down the highlights, take a hard look at Week 1 matchups, and make some way too early predictions. But before we crown any paper champions, let's rewind to draft night and see how it all went down. So, Dan, do you have anything you want to talk about before we get started?
It's National Blueberry Popsicle Day, Kartik. Have you ever had one?
No, but that's what I tell all my coworkers I've been eating when it's 2 p.m. on a work day and my tongue is purple from all the red wine. It's a rough job.
Sounds healthy. Love it.
Everyone says, what is it, a glass of wine keeps the doctor away? Or an apple, both red?
Yeah. And it makes the day go by a lot faster for work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't actually. All right. So let's just get right into it. I think the first thing we should probably talk about is the draft. And I understand Yahoo gives out grades. So what did those look like after you put those draft decisions into Yahoo?
Yeah. So threw them in. And I mean, I think we all agree Yahoo, they have their own rankings. So we're not going to put a ton of weight on it. And that's not because I got a B+, but we'll start off. So Hardy and Fitz.
I feel good that I got a D.
You did, yeah. I mean, because it's all the way that it works is just.
Yeah, I didn't take Jamar Chase in that spot.
Well, it's ADP, so everything's okay. Did you draft people higher or lower? And it yeah. So that's pretty much how it's all built. But Hardy and Fitz got A+. I mean, they have quality teams. I'm not surprised. Emmett got an A-. I got a B+. Steve and Dan Martin's got a C-. Sean Daly got a D+. John Mealy and you got D's, and Scott got an F.
So only one thing came out honest. Scott with an F.
Yeah, harsh.
I mean, we'll talk about his team, I'm sure.
Maybe fair. I mean, we will. Yeah, we can talk about Scott's team. Admittedly, and I wasn't going to get into this quite yet, but I do owe him an ever so slight apology for shitting on him so hard about Brian Robinson Jr. I'm not saying that it's a good pick in that spot because it's not, but the running backs taken after, they're not good either. He was still taken 4 rounds too soon.
Do you remember anyone that was taken after? Was Tank taken after?
No, Tank was not taken after. You have the rookie from the Jaguars. I think it's Tootin.
No, it doesn't matter. We know.
I'm not positive.
We know who he is.
Yeah. You have Trey Benson, Tyler Gilly, a lot of handcuffs. Will Shipley, Najee Harris, not Naheem Hines, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Braylon Allen, who people tried to draft Braylon Allen, I think 3 times in the draft. So all just backup running backs, and given CMC's history with injury, Brian Robinson could end up being a starting running back.
Yeah.
again, still 4 rounds too soon, but maybe Scott didn't deserve to be destroyed by everyone when that happened.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Well, we're gonna get into these picks. So, who do you want to start with today?
So
Should we start at the top?
sure, we can go in any order you want. I just think it's going to be interesting going through kind of what we think everyone's best and worst draft picks are.
Should we get you and me just out of the way? Because I don't think anyone's going to give a crap about that.
That's fair. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, so let's start with you really fast.
All right,
because you're at the top of this list, this standings list. I'm all the way at the bottom, so it's probably good.
Yeah, I think that my best draft pick is Jameson Williams. He actually finished last year as the 10th best wide receiver. And I drafted him as the 31st wide receiver, inclusive of keepers, off the board. Do I think he's going to finish 10th? Hell no. But I got a pretty solid wide receiver late in the draft.
Is he on your bench? Oh, you're not going to start him this week.
No. I mean, I would theoretically, I might. DeAndre Swift, I'm concerned about with who he's going up against defensively.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
And thoughts on, because I think we were all kind of on the same page. I'll just bring it up now because I'm not going to wait for that player to be brought up. But I think you, me, and Emma were all on the same page. Bo Nix was very high from a quarterback position for all of us to go get. None of us had quarterbacks. I was trying everything I could to just trade with somebody so I can get a pick right before I think Mealy, so I can take Bo Nix or whoever took Bo Nix. Might have been Hardy.
Yeah, it was.
Why'd you take Mayfield?
So that's what I have as my worst pick. I've been regretting it a little bit. I was between him and Bo Nix. I took Baker. It was a bit of a panic pick for me. I took Baker because I felt like with their wide receivers, with that offense, it's still going to be a very heavy passing offense. But again, in hindsight, I do wish I took Bo Nix because Bo runs a little bit more. And then as a rookie, he put up great numbers. I'm imagining his second year, things being the same, if not slightly better in a Sean Payton offense. So I do. Yeah, I put that as my worst pick.
I would agree with that. I think if I could I don't know where I could call it the best picks. There's some good picks in here, but I would say big. I found it very surprising. I was happy you didn't take Bo Nix. I was pissed I couldn't get him. All right, let's go to this shit shop of a team. Is Bosa even playing? Like, damn it. I got to figure that out. Best pick here. Maybe I'll give it a go. Genty.
No. So to me, it's not. I mean, it's a surefire number one. Who's going number one? It's Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton was a phenomenal pick. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I have it listed as the best pick in the draft. He was the 12th.
So would you have taken Courtland Sutton in the spot you took Mayfield? He would not have survived to me again in the first pick. Like, to wrap all the way back around, he would never have gotten back to me, right?
Oh, yes. I was going to take him in the Mayfield spot.
Because it was either him or Bo Nix, and I went, I need wide receiver help.
Yeah, I was going to take him at the end of the round. You took him 2 picks before me.
Yeah.
I had him. I was ready to write it. I was very excited that I thought he was going to fall to me. He was the 12th best wide receiver in 2024. He was the 29th wide receiver off the board. And that's where I was saying to you about the Jameson Williams thing. While Jameson was 10th and 31st off the board, I think Sutton's going to have a better year than Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
I think Sutton, with a second-year connection with Bo Nix, is going to I think he's easily a top 15 wide receiver.
All right. Thank you for that. Worst pick. There are a few choices here. Bigsby is definitely a panic pick because I could not figure out what to do in that spot.
Yeah.
Scatterbo is probably the riskiest pick I've taken, but I don't think the running back that they have right now is going to be much of anything. And he was unbelievable in college, doing whatever you need to do. Mm-hmm. So I think there's something to say about that. Tough picking a white running back. But I would say maybe Bigsby was my worst.
don't think so. I have it as CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. I was looking at the list. I'm like, is he going to say CJ Stroud?
It is.
That was
because CJ, you probably could have gotten, I mean, honestly, in the 9th or 10th round, probably.
Yeah, I was very focused that I needed to get a quarterback there, and for some that was going to be a bad pick no matter what because the other option was Drake May. But I was throwing around the idea of Jordan Love, but didn't really love the wide receiver core. I was throwing around the idea of somebody else too. I just can't remember. Then I took a look at Justin Herbert and went, "Nah, I don't ever want to look at that again." So
yeah, I get that.
Hopefully, CJ Stroud turns it around. The benefit is pairing him with Nico because I can't really compete with yourself, Fitz, or Emmett if I do not have a pairing there. And I didn't want Matt Stafford in that spot.
I get all that logic. Again, while I did give you the best pick of the draft with Cortland Sutton, I did also, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself on the preseason predictions, I did actually give CJ Stroud the worst pick in the draft.
Are you serious?
So he finished as the 18th best quarterback in 2024.
Yeah, I remember that. Nico was hurt. Tank Dell was hurt. Who wasn't hurt on that team? Who was he throwing to?
So who he's throwing to, I'm less concerned than these just little aspects here, which are, and here's why. Again, he was taken too soon. So he was the 9th QB taken. So only you and one other person didn't have a QB yet. So he probably could have waited a little bit longer. But again, while I know I think I feel like I really made a mistake about taking Baker, you already named a couple, like Justin Herbert. He's not a winner, but fantasy wise, he does okay. Jared Goff, Dak, Purdy, all ranked higher. But the thing that concerns me, the reason that CJ Stroud concerns me, is that they traded away their Pro Bowl offensive tackle, Laramie Tunsil. And they have the 32nd ranked offensive line in the NFL this year. And that scares me.
Yeah, inevitably you have to protect your investments. They got to do something. So we'll see what they end up trading.
Hopefully that's not a problem and he just wings it. Because at the same time, even though I said that to you, I think Baker actually led the league in sacks last year. So talking out of both sides of my mouth here.
All right, so who should we go to next?
Who should we go to next? Why don't we go let's go with Fitz. We'll go back the other direction. We can actually flip-flop or something. So we can go Fitz and then Scott, and we'll go all the way till we hit the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. We're going random.
Scott, you're at the bottom if you're listening to this with me.
So Fitz, to me, his best pick was Lamar. Getting the top quarterback at the end of the first round when he's already got solid starters was something that I hate him for, but it was a really good pick. He's set up for success this year, and I thought that pick was solid. And then worst pick, I'm going with Evan Ingram, tight end. It didn't feel like, at least personally, that after Hawkinson and Mark Andrews went, I understand feeling like the need to fill the tight end spot, but similarly to you, 8 other people had tight ends, so it was just him and Scott who still needed a tight end, and I think he could have waited a bunch of rounds, and then ultimately he got who I think is actually the better tight end, which is Tucker Kraft. He got him in the 12th round, so he kind of helped clean that up. But yeah, I think in that spot he could have grabbed some other people.
His team is pretty solid.
Oh yeah, it is.
I am worried about it. I think the best decision he made was keeping Chase Brown, not keeping a 30-year-old.
100%. Brilliant. Yeah, 100%.
Finally, I didn't know people can change, and he is proof of that.
I mean, you got to give him something. The man is a winner when it comes to fantasy football. He's the best regular season record in our league all time.
He's got half championship.
He sticks with proven guys, and the results speak for themselves.
All right. Now, fun time. Let's jump into Scott.
So Scott, 3 wide receivers, kept a quarterback, so he was just going running backs. I like the Caleb Johnson pick. He needs to take some shots.
I love the Caleb Johnson pick. I was upset I couldn't get to him. I wanted him in that round.
Yeah. I mean, the Steelers, we know, love to run the ball. and hopefully that doesn't change too much with Rodgers as the QB. But Caleb Johnson probably splitting carries with Jalen Warren. But I feel like coming out of camp, the talk about Caleb Johnson is that they think he's going to take the role long term. So I think that's a really good pick. And he, to me, was the best available running back when that at that spot for Scott. Because
I think he's going to be great in that offense. Offense is going to be run heavy. It makes a lot of sense for him. Like, I think it just fits. I don't think you have a lot of competition with Jalen Warren from a fantasy perspective, or even just on the field. He gets opportunities. He just cannot break away from anybody. So I think he's going to be very interesting. This is just like when we talked about Mealy, I think it is, with RJ Harvey. I think both of those are really good picks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Genty was that top class, but he was gone first pick, but then you were going to jump into those two guys. I did notice that he took Tajay Spears, and he is on IR designated return. When does he get back?
Oh, is he? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, there's no date on it. I'm just not really sure what's going on here for it. Oh, he's going to miss 4 games. Great pick, Scott. It was at the end of the draft, but I wouldn't start Tajay Spears with. Cam Ward, I think, is going to be legit. It's going to be interesting, but it's just a very interesting pick.
No, he hurt his ankle.
Spears. Yeah, I took Chris Godwin too. So and he's older. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Well, I think Do you think Jaden Daniels has been figured out like a lot of other people are saying?
I like Jaden Daniels. I do think the Commanders are going to take a step back.
Gay!
I think the Commanders will take a slight step back this season. They won a lot of close games last year. And, they had the one lucky Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit tougher on them this year. But he's still got a great cast. They brought in Debo to add to that.
Yeah.
Which is really helpful.
I didn't know Debo can catch a football, though.
He can run one.
We'll see. Who they got running back on that team? I don't think they. Who is their running back? Not Austin Eckler, is it? No.
So we'll split carries with him. It's Ja'Cory.
Oh, okay.
Krosky Merritt.
Shall we talk about Dan Martins then?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we jump there?
Yeah.
So I did give JCM Merritt the best pick for Martins. Rookie.
Yeah.
Commanders need somebody who's going to run the ball, and then with the spacing that Jaden Daniels gives you, that's helpful. Brian Robinson is a solid running back, but the guy doesn't break loose from anything. He's putting up 22 carries a game at 3.9 yards per carry, and he's just consistent in that way. The guy can take a beating. So he does his job and runs between the tackles and takes hits and moves chains. But I think Merritt gives kind of more big play opportunity long term for them, and he's in a good offense that can help open up that space. So I like that pick.
When I think about worst picks, I don't think he really has. Do you really think he has a bad pick? I didn't love Alvin Kamara in his spot, but I don't mind Alvin Kamara on a team that I don't even know what that offense is going to be like. But when I look at the rest of his team, I love the defensive players on the team. He had the best defense to start. Not taking anything away from think it was Fitz, who has Emmett has a great defense too, but Raekwon Smith, Myles Garrett, Kyle Hamilton. There's probably not a better defensive back in the league. I'm looking at this, I don't really see a bad pick. What do you see?
I completely agree. The one that I don't like, and I told this to Dan the day of, I personally prefer Laporta and Andrews over Kelsey. That's it. I just think Kelsey's towards the end of his career. I think Andrews is still Lamar's favorite guy. I think Laporta is more upside. I just think that Kelsey's getting older, and I think they want to save him for the playoffs. So that was my only criticism. Was I personally would have gone with one of the other two.
I think it kind of when he took Kelsey, I would have taken Kelsey over the other two guys in that moment. The reason why I thought that was, I think Kelsey's got at least one pretty good year left. I'm being a bit of a homer having him on the team for as many years as possible, but I think he's got at least 1 year left. He has a quarterback that won't have crazy fancy numbers, but will throw a shit ton to Travis Kelce. And the worrisome about the other two guys, specifically maybe Laporta, is Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon Ra, Jameson Williams. It is a stacked team, and that's what he got hurt with last year. It was just opportunity. Not that he can't play, just will the ball be thrown around enough, and does Goff still have it after another year, or are they gonna lean on the running backs, which they probably should after Amon St. Brown? So
That's an excellent point. That's a really good call. Yeah,
it's tough to see. I would say Travis Kelce, yeah, probably maybe, but I think Dan Martin's walked away with some pretty good decisions. Didn't make many bad ones. I think it helps when you're. I was gonna say when you're remote, take you in the draft, but we already talked about my team, so
yeah.
No,
but no, I'm 100% with you. I think you called it really well. Yeah. I like, frankly, all of his picks. So this is just kind of a odd man out. I had to pick somebody. I feel that way about a bunch of teams where I just had to pick someone. And
you didn't feel that about my team, though. You were pretty quick on the trigger there.
I mean, there are only a couple of players that I thought CJ Stroud was a little too soon. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Who is next?
We can jump to. Why don't we jump to Daly?
Yeah.
So, for his best pick, I'm actually going to go with Trevion Henderson.
Really? You were a bit surprised in the moment when it happened because he did take Hampton first, his second overall pick. And I remember hearing your reaction, as you do, post pick, and that one was a bit surprising for you.
It was a surprise. I really thought that Daly was taking Hampton and then going Travis Hunter next to fill out his roster and take that advantage, which is something we talked about a lot. If Travis Hunter puts up 600 yards and 6 touchdowns along with 50 tackles, he's the number one defensive back by a good amount. And I think he's actually, barring a huge Zaire Franklin year again, he would be the number one defensive player. I mean, basically, that would be the type of stats that you would see.
That's crazy to say that. A rookie coming in to play corner, play two-way, and you saying he might have the best fantasy season of the year.
From a defensive perspective.
No. If you add, sorry, that's if you add in all the offensive stats. So that's what you're saying. Sorry, I thought you just went defensive 101. I was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, not fantasy player, period. But again, that's really dependent on him getting 600 yards, 6 touchdowns to go along with tackles, because typically cornerbacks don't get a lot of tackles. So he would definitely need that. Now, I thought with Daly's position that he would go after that and see how it works out. But I do really like the move here. I think that there's a ton of positive just commentary, frankly, a ton of love coming out of from the Patriots. And with Mike Vrabel as your head coach, this is a guy who likes to run the ball. Ask Derrick Henry how he fared under him for a few years. So I think that I actually think Trevion might have a better year than Hampton. So that's why I ended up giving him the nod.
As long as these players stay healthy, he's competitive from here on out. Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Hampton, and Henderson, if those two guys work out. Harrison just needs to find a quarterback. Cardinals have to find a quarterback. They don't have anyone playing. They run out 10 guys, and now I don't know how the ball gets to anywhere. They got no one out there. And then he has Bowers as well, right?
I know.
I mean, he is stacked. Hopefully he finds a way to trade one of these guys, wink, wink, because some people could use some help. What is the worst pick you got here? Because, again, there's another one that, being based on like where I think I remember where some of these guys were taken, I don't really hate many of these picks. I don't like Pitts, but I don't think it mattered when you picked him because he's always like 2 years from being 2 years away. And that's a basketball joke. Emmett knows. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, Pitts is his backup tight end. However, I have been inundated with Instagram videos joking about Kyle Pitts, of people going through how bad tight end is. And then it's like a guy step up and it's Kyle Pitts being like, you can trust me. And everyone's like,
he can trust
Got him!
I've seen like 5 different.
Got
I've
him!
seen like 5 different videos on Instagram about it.
Oh my god!
But I'm going with Zay Flowers, second round. I'm never a fan of a Ravens wide receiver because
You're a hater. Like you're the opposite of a homer. Like just stop. Just leave it alone. Oh, Zay Flowers. Oh, come on, man. If it's not Lamar Jackson, or if it's not Terrell Suggs, or if it's not Derrick Henry, you're like, fuck that.
to me, Flowers' ceiling is 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, which is quality. It's good. I'm not, but they're wide receivers that I would have taken after him. I would have taken Cortland Sutton. I would have taken Jameson Williams. You could have made me. I mean, I would have certainly thought about DJ Moore.
Okay, that's from the timing perspective. Okay, I can see it.
It's just second round when there were other wide receivers that I like more than him. That's all.
Yeah.
Again, really I think Daly had a really good draft too. I've got to pick someone in the worst spot.
Yeah, and he'll need to find somebody to fill that flex spot. Yeah, he's got mid player. If he could you imagine Josh Allen, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Hampton, Henderson, Bowers, Sutton?
Yeah, that's basically that's what I mean. And if you got Emmett on this pod, he'd be like, I'm sorry, you just named 4 wide receivers and none of them were Calvin Ridley. So
love the sideshow.
Sherlock.
I'm gonna try to just stay like this so you can see them. Okay. Who we got left? We got Steve, Mealy, Emmett, and Hardy.
Yep.
Because we got everybody else, right? Let's Steve. He's right. So we'll finish up this bottom 4 in this list. Actually, bottom 5. Mm-hmm. They're not the bottom 5. It's just the way Yahoo has listed everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I said DK Metcalf as his best pick. DK, I think, could have a really big year with Rodgers. I know it's a second rounder, but really? I think Steve stayed true to top talent. And there's always different aspects. Sometimes we can, in America, we can try to get cute in our drafts of get the young guy. Steve has a team that is capable of winning. He took the best player in the best spot. And
you know what's interesting? I think Steve needs to go back to look at his lineup because I think he mistakenly, and maybe he wants to, put Keenan Allen in the flex and DK.
Oh, I saw that too.
He'll come back to it. He'll hear this and go, "Whoops! Let me fix that right away."
Yeah, I saw that too today. I was going to bring that up when we went through who we think is going to win each matchup.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, so I also noticed here before we get into the potential worst pick on his team, the 3 running backs in Jacksonville. He's got one, Daly's got one, I got the other.
Yeah.
The odd man out, inevitably, if he does not figure it out, is Etienne. Mm-hmm. Did not finish the year strong. The one that could get some work is going to be Tank. Mm-hmm. The biggest bet is taking Tootin and seeing what ends up happening. And I think Tootin is with the right guy who's just got some really good running backs and may not even need that spot. Steve picked up the right guy, but his only worry was he kept Burrow and had to redraft Connor. Mm-hmm. Not the worst thing in the world because he might have drafted Burrow in the first round anyway because he's worth that price, just like Lamar Jackson is. So it's just interesting to see. I just want to call out the running backs there. What do you think is the worst pick?
I did Kyle Williams, the wide receiver on the Patriots, the rookie that he took a shot on. I don't have a problem.
Take him? Took him late?
He took him late. He took him in the 9th round. But that's my only rationale is that anyone who's ever had a conversation with Scott during Halo, he wasn't on our radar. He could have absolutely. I mean, he probably could take him in the 13th round. I don't dislike the pick. Again, I liked a bunch of us. I liked a lot of our drafts. I think everyone did a really great job this year. I think it was pretty solid. I didn't feel like there were too many reaches, but I think he probably could have waited till the very end of the draft to grab him. But it's also nitpicky when I'm calling out people's post.
I also didn't know who he was. What do you think? We'll just maybe talk about someone here because I like picking on the Cowboys and I don't like Jerry Jones. George Pickens.
Yeah, I don't love it. but I
I don't
understand it.
hate it either. Is he the number 2 wide receiver after CD?
Yeah, he's definitely the number 2 wide receiver. I I mean, Javante's their running back. They brought in a rookie as well. They don't really have much of a defense. Dak could have a really good year, and they could just throw the ball all day. Um, so Pickens could end up. I mean, he could easily end up putting up 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns next to CD's 1,411 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible.
We'll see what Drake London can do with the quarterback too.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you know what the Steelers are really good at?
No, what?
Getting rid of players before they go downhill. They're pretty darn good at that.
Yeah.
So
But then they picked
hopefully
up
they're wrong
Metcalf.
about that
We'll
one.
see what happens, but they picked up Rodgers. So they find a way. Everyone finds a way to be on the other side of this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move away from Steve. We got Mealy left, Emmett, and Hardy. Hardy?
Yeah, I'll do
Let's
Hardy.
finish on Emmett. We're gonna go. Let's do Hardy, Mealy, and then Emmett.
All right. I like that.
Cool.
So for Sean Hardy, I went with Golden. I really was hoping he would fall to me as well. Rookie on Green Bay. Love is still.
Oh yeah, I
looking-
wanted him too. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's a
the
great
worry,
pick.
the worry about him is just it seems like they're saying his hands might not be great, but I think he's going to create enough separation. He's speedy
Mhm.
enough. I think he's going to be fine. It's as long as Jordan Love can put the ball where it needs to be. I know he's got a hand issue, but maybe they'll figure that out. But I thought that was a great. I thought I was bummed that I couldn't get him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Packers fan took him, but
Yeah,
I was hopeful as well when I was looking at that was another one where I was looking at the name waiting for him to fall to me, and then he got taken and that changed things. But
yeah.
if he and Love do create a connection that it sounds like they're talking about their building, then he could have a really great year.
And then this is another one. I'm looking at the team.
Well, I think
I love
Hardy
the Bo Nix
probably
pick.
had the best draft out of all of us. He
Got
had a
Cook,
phenomenal draft.
Millen. I don't actually see, because based on timing as well, I do not see a bad pick.
There
here.
isn't one. I gave it to Gay.
You gave it to Gay. You homophobe?
Matt Gay, the kicker. So I thought there are other better kickers available.
Were they?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's go in the analysis of kickers. I know Scott's going to be like,
Yeah, let's
all
do
right,
this.
my time. Let's listen to this.
Mhm.
Who else was left? Who was there before you drafted Matt?
Chase McLaughlin, who was the Tampa Bay kicker last year, he put up a significant amount of fantasy points. Chris Boswell, who I ended up taking, was the number 2 fantasy
He's
kicker
fairly
last year.
consistent, but is it really where did Matt Gay ended up last year?
Ooh, actual rank. That's fair. Let me double check that.
You're comparing everybody else. Why don't you get the guy you're comparing them to?
Well, I checked the rankings of last year at the time. Off the top of my head, I didn't quite remember
break it. While Dan looks this up. On a side note, I learned that Dan was listening to. He was 18th.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that team's maybe up and coming because we'll see. Okay, if the worst pick is the kicker, you live with it. I don't like that's a great fucking draft. And I know you said that, so I'm just saying it again.
Chris Boswell finished with 60 more points, actually with almost 50% more points.
I will say that the comment I was going to make, I saw that Ryan Russillo is leaving the Ringer to create his own network, and one of his biggest investors will be Dave Portnoy.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that as well.
I might actually start watching the Ringer because I hate Ryan Russillo. So
I like Russillo. Yeah, I know.
All right, so let's jump into the next. Let's do Mealy, and then we'll talk about Emmett.
Yeah.
So
for Mealy, actually, there's a pick of his that I really, really like, and it was late in the draft, and it's Michael Pittman.
Okay.
Who 2 years ago people thought was going to break out. Everything it didn't work out with Richardson, but now with Daniel Jones, not that that's any great quarterback. Go ahead.
Basically the same player. Just
go ahead. You can click a button. You can.
I don't know which one. Like, I don't know. Like,
No, that was the right
game
one.
over.
That was the right one.
Game over.
That was the right one.
Like, what are we talking about? Because it's basically the same player, except one is faster than the other, but that one just can't finish a football game.
One has a 40% completion percentage, and the other one has like a 57. Just saying that. I think, but it's a low risk pick, but there's just opportunity there, and I just think that that's a really great. Not too many people are grabbing a number one wide receiver on a team in the 11th round. So I just thought that was a really good grab.
Another draft that I thought was really great. I just think the RJ Harvey pick was perfect.
Yeah.
So I can't. I know. I understand you're also picking for value at the position. That one bummed me out because I was like, oh, didn't get RJ Harvey. Am I going to survive to get Keldon Johnson? Mm-hmm. And the person I couldn't survive was Scott, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's carrying 2 Cowboys and 2 Jets, so 4 guys that won't make the playoffs. And then he's got a great running back. Worst pick? What do you got?
Again, a kicker. I'm with you. I liked all of his picks. There were a couple of them where
the kicker was fine. Aubrey is probably one of the better kickers. He kicks indoors.
Again, I had to.
He's one of the most consistent kickers. You can say nobody. That's a choice.
I will not. I will pick someone, and I picked Brandon Aubrey, and I stand by it.
You thought Ricky Pearsall was fine?
Yeah, I thought your rule was if you get shot and you survive.
Yeah. You come out to many men and you play football. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think the Jalen Warren pick, I think you could have just passed. That's probably it.
I mean, again, look at actually in that what is it? 5 running backs, six running backs were taken across 8 picks. These were the 6. It went Jordan Mason back up on Minnesota, Jalen Warren back up on Pittsburgh. Travis Etienne back up on Jaguars. Joe Mixon currently out for about 6 weeks at least. Ramondre Stevenson back up on the Patriots. Austin Eckler likely to split carries back up on Commanders. Jalen Warren in that spot isn't bad. It's not bad. Running back is.
I also look at him as a handcuff. Not a great hang because again, I just don't think he can be. Nitpicky here. I'm gonna get over this. Let's just move on because that was a great draft as well. What are we talking about?
Yeah, a lot of people I think had really good drafts.
You're probably never gonna put Jalen Warren in the starting lineup. Let's just move on.
Good point.
And now we get to Emmett. There's a lot of red in his lineup and a blank spot at kicker. He's better gonna figure all that out.
That's true. Yeah, he's gonna figure that out pretty quick.
I will just make a comment. It's a stretch here. I still think from a defensive standpoint. I guess I got to include Travis Hunter in that thought. So I think Mealy would be number 3. I think Emmett's number 2. And I think Dan Martin's his best defense. We'll see what ends up happening because Aiden Hutchinson didn't play an entire year. Mm-hmm. And he could rack up all the sacks and just be Defensive Player of the Year. And he's got the other potential one in Fred Warner. So, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. These are both really great. Totally across the board. Winfield's great. Really good defense. I just wanted to call that out. Thought we don't talk about it enough.
You're 100% right. Winfield was a really great grab. When he got picked, I think half the guys went, oh, yeah, I forgot about him. Great grab.
I had Byard already, and I just keep putting way too much into him, but he just tends to figure out how to make a pick. But I would love to have Winfield too. Racks up a lot of tackles, I believe. So best pick in the draft for
it's Mahomes. Emmett. I mean, grabbing Mahomes in the 4th round. I know that Mahomes had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
If he turns it around and is a top 5 quarterback, that's a phenomenal pick in the 4th round. So that's
got 3 handcuff running backs too, and I think one of them in Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker gets hurt often. That could end up. We'll talk about it later. That could end up becoming one of the best picks in the draft.
Yeah, you are 100% right.
Yeah, and then what do you got the worst pick? Because I don't see. I mean, the fact that he doesn't have a kicker is that all I'm saying. I don't really see a bad pick in this draft. I'm looking at. I mean, who could he have gotten instead of Hockenson? I think that was the best available at the time at tight end.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option would have been Mark Andrews. If that, and that's again the question: who you like more? Who knows, right? If Hockenson ends up being the safety valve for JJ McCarthy, if he's waiting and afraid he's going to get sacked and can't wait for Jefferson to get open. Who knows? Their relationship could be huge. So I completely agree with you on that. I again, I had to pick somebody. I went with Luther Burden the third. Emmett talks about how much he loves DJ Moore. He talks about how much he loves Odunze.
Gay!
Yes. But so Emmett's naming all of these wide receivers on the Chicago Bears that he loves. And I don't know where Luther Burden is going to see the ball in that situation. The other two are amazing. But again, you're taking a shot on a rookie wide receiver in a potentially good offense. I'm picking nits here. So
yeah, we'll see what happens with Hawkinson too. The thought that came to mind is Jaden McCarthy tends to get sacked more, tight end gets stuck blocking more. So we'll end up seeing what happens. I don't think having him or Andrews is going to hurt him. I think Bauer's the only one that really passes people up, and then everyone else kind of gets thrown together. Andrews has potential to gather touchdowns, but at the end of the day, his worst case scenario is the same as Hawkinson. So that might not end up hurting him much at all. But Emmett, you definitely need a kicker. All right. So that's everyone. I mean, do you have any quick, before we jump into actual superlatives or anything like that, you gave me worst and best pick. What were those? CJ Stroud worst and best pick was
Sutton
who?
best.
Carlton Sutton. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, I think we should take a break. We'll listen to our sponsors for this week, and then we'll jump into some predictions.
Are you in your late 30s and still single? Impressive. You've successfully dodged commitment longer than most people keep a gym membership. Are you tired of third wheeling at dinners, explaining to your relatives why you just haven't met the right person yet, or crying in a Trader Joe's parking lot because you bought family-sized guacamole? For one, there's a solution. It's called being interesting. And after all that time, give us a call at 1-800-NO-DATES. We'll train you when you finally get out of the home from working all day on how to speak to women. We know it's a challenge, and we're here for you. Give us a call.
Well, we're going to jump into now Dan's actually year-end, our commissioner's year-end predictions. So what we've done every single year, preseason, mid-year, and at the year-end, Dan's going to be able to provide us what his thoughts are about how the season will end, giving MVPs, worst picks, GM, etc. So let's see what he thinks. I mean, Dan, you got the list. I don't got the list. You tell me what you got.
Yeah, this year I went with MVP Saquon. I do anticipate he takes a step back this year. Okay. I don't expect he'll have the same amount of rushing yards, but I think that he'll get in the end zone more. And MVP is always tied to best record, championship. And I do feel like this is going to be Hardy's year. He had a phenomenal draft.
Yeah.
So
I will say this. We talked about that to exhaustion, I think, before we kicked off our first episode of Small Claims. And I brought up that I think Saquon's going to be the best player. And you said, hey, well, we talked about when was the last time a player had back-to-back years, fantasy years. I mean, you're not saying the same thing. It's not the number one fantasy guy, but you're saying MVP for a team. So, I mean, that's still pretty close, and I found that interesting. Hopefully it's Jahmyr Gibbs for the same reasons, except just a different player, but we will see.
Well, you nailed my honorable mention. So I do have Jahmyr Gibbs as honorable mention. I think he could be the number one running back this year. And the Lions lean a little bit more on the run after losing Ben Johnson. So I think that he's going to have a phenomenal year too.
Yeah. Okay. What's next one?
Offensive Player of the Year, I gave this to Bijan Robinson. He recently announced that his name is actually pronounced Bijan, not Bijan. So I think that he's
good for him to tell people how you pronounce the name. As somebody that consistently is at work and people keep putting an H in my name, drives me nuts. Drives me absolutely nuts. So I can respect somebody saying, hey, it's Bijan, not Bijan.
Yeah, it's your name. You got to make sure that people know how to pronounce it. And I think that he takes vengeance on the league to make sure that they have to announce it a lot and people know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get that bothered about it, but yeah, I guess.
For Defensive Player of the Year, we kind of already hit on the possibility with Travis Hunter and what could potentially happen, but I'm not going to go there yet. I am going to stick with Zaire Franklin again. He's a tackling machine. He put up 170 points last year. I expect him to repeat on a possibly bad Colts offense where the defense could be on the field the whole damn game again.
Who's your honorable mention if you had one for Defensive Player of the Year?
I don't typically have an honorable mention for Offensive Player of the Year because typically the MVP is basically also the Offensive Player of the Year. So
yeah. So I would say this.
It tends to be like 3 offensive players in those spots.
Yeah, I would say. No, I meant Defensive Player of the Year. I would say. I am doubling up on these Lions, but I mean Hutchinson for full season is going to be interesting to see if he stays healthy. Full season with him. Remember just watching him a little bit in the year that he was playing, and he just was in the backfield the entire time. So,
the guy's a monster.
It's going to be very interesting to see. And Emmett's got him, so we'll see how that works out for him.
I agree with that.
All right, we got best GM or worst GM?
So we already went through. I mean, I'm going to hit on these, just even though we already talked about him, which was best pick in the draft, Cortland Sutton. And then runner-up, I did put Travis Hunter. I think all of us were shocked he lasted as long as he did. And again, I'm going to be an optimist because he's either going to be the first or second best pick in the draft, or he's the worst pick in the draft. Because if he doesn't live up to being that kind of dual position, then Johnny took a defensive back in the first round, and DBs typically don't go until the 8th. So it's either the best pick or the worst, but I'm going to be optimistic that it works out for him.
Yeah. I mean, he could become a strong wide receiver and then could be a very good pick. Just won't be
exactly. Yeah.
But
and then we talked about worst pick in the draft, CJ Stroud. Already went through that, and then the runner-up. Yeah. Sleeper pick, I gave Michael Pittman Jr. 11th round, steal by Johnny. And then runner-up, I went with Quinshon Judkins. He has been cleared of all charges, so he just needs to sign his deal, and then he is the starting running back in the Browns. And I got him pretty late in the draft, so he's another sleeper possibility.
Yeah, but no, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something ridiculous. We'll leave it off. That's not for this place nor anywhere.
All right, fair enough.
Is that all the words that we got?
Well, so with regards to, I can't do free agent pickups, best or worst. We don't know about earliest draft picks cut, keepers cut, so we'll see about that. We do have the Who's Laughing Now. Everyone is still laughing at you. Best GM, screw GM. We'll go with the everyone is still laughing at you, and that does go to Scott, he drafted 4 running backs to start off the draft, all of which are RB2s. So he did skip out a couple of starting running backs to take. Technically, and only because this one is a technicality. Caleb Johnson will become the first. Who's
the number 1 running back right now on that team?
Technically, it's still Jaylen Warren.
No, it's not. So he's got number 1 running back. There's no way.
Yeah, it's fair. But then David Montgomery is technically a backup. J.K. Dobbins is a backup. Brian Robinson Jr. is a backup. And I'm not, again, it's, they're not bad picks. But Aaron Jones is a starter in the league. Could have had him. Tyron Tracy's starter. I think really where I struggle with is not taking Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the rookie starter for the Commanders. I would have taken him over Dobbins or Brian Robinson Jr. In Scott's position. So there's that one. I think the Who's Laughing Now is I'm going to give it to Emmett, who, despite not having a pick in the first or second round, still managed to pull out a pretty damn good team. So apparently he is continuing to prove that he will trade away as many first-round draft picks as he possibly is allowed to. He might not have a first-round draft pick until Henry Martins joins our league in 10 more years.
We should have put a rule in place like the NBA did on that.
The Sepien rule, the Emmett Marks rule, how many first-round picks you can trade in a row. Yeah. It's actually really it's really funny. And yeah, so similar then, I mean, everyone's still laughing. I mean, screw GM would be Scott. And then the backup there, I don't really have one. I mean, because if I were to nitpick and say you, because the CJ Stroud thing, do you have any idea how easy it is to get another quarterback? There's like 5 on the waiver wire.
It's not me. There's no way.
That's why it's not. So we'll just stick with that. We're good there.
You got 3 guys that are ranked in the top 10.
I know.
Beat me. So
it's not a big deal. But But anyway, so yeah, we're good. We already ran through all of that, and
And I got
we'll
a
see how
Carolina
the season
running back.
continues.
Yeah, and I got a Carolina running back. You can't hit me with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dan, thanks for going over your preseason awards. We'll see how they pan out when we get into the mid-season in a couple of months. And now we're going to jump into a brand new segment, a segment we're going to do week over week, which is called Small Claims Fan of the Week. And it's going to be an opportunity to call one of our fans randomly and just really have a nice time, have a quick conversation, maybe do some trivia, do some pick 'em. We'll see. So, Dan, give a ring to our first fan of the week. Congratulations, Emmett. You've won Fan of the Week for Small Claims. Welcome. How you doing?
Oh, good Lord. This is not the best time. How are you?
We're doing all right. Why is this not the best time? What's going on?
Oh, no, I'm at a bar. I went outside to call you back.
Oh, well, I hope it's not chilly. I mean, we got a couple minutes with you here. We'd love to talk to you and maybe do some football trivia and also do some pick'ems for our fantasy league this season.
Okay.
For week 1.
I'm interested.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes for us?
I do. And because when you said chili, I said I'm ready to give you all the cold takes you want.
All right,
I've had a couple White Claws, but not many.
Okay, so a little racist, but not too racist. Let's do this. So Dan's going to ask us some trivia questions. This is how this is going to work for Fan of the Week every week. We'll give somebody a call. We'll go through some trivia questions, maybe 1 or 2, and then we're going to just run through the 5 matchups we have for the week, and we're going to make our decisions. Who do we think is going to win? All right, Dan, get us going. What's question number 1?
All right, so question number 1 is, and we just had this conversation. I know Kartik doesn't know the answer because he wasn't there, but the question is, do you remember before this draft, in each of the first 13 seasons, who were the only remaining players drafted in each of the first 13 seasons of our league? All 3 of them were not drafted in this most recent season.
Yeah. Hold on.
So there's 3 players, you said?
3 players.
One comes to mind.
That is correct.
Who do you say?
Rodgers.
Justin Tucker, Aaron Rodgers, correct.
What was the third one? DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. That is correct.
I almost picked DeAndre Hopkins this year. Rodgers wasn't picked this year. No one picked him.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All 3 of them. They were the only 3 players still remaining who had been drafted in all of our
Let's be
previous.
real. Justin Tucker would have been picked again if, he didn't go Deshaun Watson on him.
But yeah, that's true. Well, here's where it gets interesting.
I took Deshaun Watson in the supplemental draft, hand over fist.
Well, here's where it gets interesting. Just 1 year later, we have had 3 players drafted in all 13 seasons. So outside of the original Dynasty draft.
Oh.
Really?
So there are 3 other players who have been drafted every year since.
Every year since the first one.
They've been playing
Since
for
the first
13 years.
since 2014.
That's a good question.
Yeah, since 2014, 3 players have been drafted in every.
Every year
Tom Brady?
since the first.
No. That wouldn't
Tom
make
Brady has been retired.
Definitely not Tom Brady. And I thought I was
sense. So
getting.
is this our 13th season?
Say that one more time, Kartik.
Is this our 13th season right now?
No. This is 14.
Oh, 14, okay.
Right. So they weren't drafted in the first one, but all 13 since.
I have wasted 14 years on this.
I know. I've never won, Evan.
Yeah, Emmett, you've won twice.
Back to back, and one of these was a Luke Kuechly makeup sack correction, which I support because he retired immediately. He was like, "I can't top this."
Yeah.
He cried. He was like, "I'm leaving Emmett's team. I will cry on the field." Ooh, that's a good question. I like it.
I got a guess. Can I take one quick guess?
So the first year.
Derrick Henry?
No, not Derrick Henry. He didn't get drafted, I think, until 2016.
Jeez.
So it's you're guessing on. Oh, are we both playing?
No,
You
we
can
can
both
both
play.
guess. I'm not going to
You
get
go
these
for it.
right, Evan.
Kartik does not know the answer either.
2012.
It's definitely not a running back, Kartik. Let's move on from that.
Yeah. I mean, of all of them, I thought
That
it
is
was
correct.
Yeah.
Wait, did he name somebody? I didn't hear it. Don't tell me.
No, I'm saying that it is correct that it is not.
I named a running back. I said a running back. I said Derrick Henry.
No, it's not that. They weren't drafted this year. No.
We can speed this up in the cut.
Stafford.
No, Stafford was not drafted this year.
Oh, he should have been.
What?
Could still be a quarterback.
It is not a quarterback. I'll give an additional hint.
Travis Kelce.
That is correct. Travis Kelce.
That was going to be. I
great.
should have guessed that. Was gonna be
And Kartik, it couldn't be more disappointed.
It was who I was going to say, and I was just being stupid.
I will save you guys. What's up, man?
I don't think so, but any of them defense.
No. It is 2 wide receivers.
Who are some old wide receivers?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is correct.
Oh, wow. Does not seem that old.
It's got to be Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is correct.
Oh,
Wow. Well done.
Keenan Allen, Travis Kelce, and Mike Evans have been drafted each of the last 13 seasons since 2014.
And mostly by me and Kartik. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not 13.
Yeah.
11.
Okay.
Nice. Good job. Good job.
So those are 2 questions?
Those were our 2 questions.
All right, Emmett and Dan, now we're going to just jump right into it because I'm now realizing how long this episode has been.
This episode
And, we really need – it was a good one, good chat. But let's talk about our matchups for this
being
week.
recorded?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Good Lord. I'd also like to say that I take back everything I've said about – nope, I was just going to say something I'm going to make sure you cut. But all right.
Let's start with our half champions rematch. We got Steve and we got Fitz.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the favorite. The favorite is Fitz at 124 points.
I was just saying who I think wins.
Steve at 111.
Yeah, we're each going to say who we think is going to win.
Okay.
So week one matchup, Fitz versus Steve. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Steve.
Steve's the underdog. Okay.
Kartik?
Yeah, who projection?
I'm going to take Steve.
We're making this one a clean sweep. This was tough for me, but I ended up going Steve as well. Josh Jacobs is going up against Detroit's defense, and he did very poorly each game last year. And Derrick Henry's going up against Buffalo's defense. He actually had one really good game against it last year, but I don't know why. I feel like Steve is going to get the upset this week.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's got Buffalo, and he's questionable. I mean, he's going to play. Joe Burrow's got Cleveland. Yeah, he's got word about Myles Garrett. I think it's just matchups here.
It's also contingent on me remembering who any of you drafted 2 days ago.
Well, you only have 4 more games to go, so hopefully it'll be all right.
So clean sweep, Steve over Fitz. That's the call. So Fitz, prove us wrong. Let's go with Mealy and Hardy. Mealy is the underdog at about 106 points. Hardy is the favorite by quite a bit, by 21 points, 127 total points.
Yeah, I'm 100% taking Hardy on this.
I look at this, you got the Jets going against Pittsburgh, and you have the Cowboys going against Philly at Philly. So I'm going to take Bo Nix and this crew. I'm going to take Hardy as well.
Yeah, what you said is exactly. He's got 4 players going up against good defenses.
Matchups will kill you, don't they? Matchups will kill you.
Yep.
All right, so we got clean sweeps to start. Let's jump into. I don't know how we're going to do this one, but let's do Dan Martins and Emmett. Pretty even matchup. Dan Martins is a small favorite, 117 points. Emmett at 111.
He won't be once I actually pick up a kicker.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. That is a good point. So that should give him about, 7 or 8 points? So they're going to be pretty much dead even.
Yeah.
Emmett should end up being the slight favorite.
I'm taking myself. Go F. Obviously, I'm taking myself.
Yeah. Good confidence. We like that.
To get a little fun here, I'm going to take Martins.
All right. I am also picking Emmett. I did look at the matchup, and I think it's close, but they have Pollard getting
Gay!
Yeah. Well, they have Tony Tony Pollard putting up 13 points against the best defense in the league, Denver's defense, and I just don't see it happening. So
Hey, and give him the ball a shit ton. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Against Denver State. All right.
yeah, so I went with Emmett as well.
All right, let's now go
It's
to.
going to be down by 25. What are we doing?
I'm with you.
All right, let's jump now to. So we got 2 clean sweeps, and then I took Martins over Emmett, and then Dan and Emmett have taken Emmett in that matchup. Now let's jump into me and Scott. I'm obviously going to take myself. I am the slight favorite at 115 over Scott's 112, so it's pretty much a 50-50 shot, I would say.
I'm going to take Scott.
I took
Is that the reasons to that, or you just kind of you upset?
No, it's actually because every keeper he has was a past Emmett keeper, I'm partial to them.
So it feels like you're. So basically, it feels like you're still rooting for yourself.
Yeah, if I can't separate years from years, yes. And I'm just like, oh, this team looks familiar.
I will say my matchups are tough. Gentie's first game is against the Patriots and Vrabel defense.
Yeah.
Gibbs against Green Bay. Just got Micah Parsons. Doesn't matter. He's plug and play. And then I got Houston and the Rams going at each other. So I think what I'm basically saying is Chuba Hubbard is going to have to lead this offense this week.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been on the call, but I've said it 9 times during the draft. It's Chuba, but we'll move on.
Chuba. Okay. Is it really Chuba?
Yeah, he was correcting us all draft.
It's
Okay.
You were via satellite, so you get a pass.
Okay. And then we got one more matchup, and that is a matchup of last year's champion and Dan against Daly. Dan is a clear favorite, about 11 points, 121 over Daly's 110.
Daily. That's just wish fulfillment.
Touche.
He took Daly.
He took Daly.
As I look at this, matchup wise, I'm looking at the wrong team. That's why I'm looking. I thought I was looking at dailies going, I think matchups are going to work. I meant the other team. So I think matchups can hurt a little bit. And then again, Arizona's running 10 players out there without a quarterback. I don't see how that works for them. So it's going to be a tough go for Daly in week 1. I think Dan should pull this one out.
Yeah, I picked myself mostly similarly with regards to somewhat optimism of both Hampton and Henderson in their first NFL games. I feel okay about. I don't know how much they're going to split carries in their first NFL game. So,
okay, while I agree with that wholeheartedly, just to be contrarian, I'm going to take my man Daly on this.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it works.
All right. Perfect. So where we finished up, we all took sweeps on. We took Steve over Fitz, and we both took Hardy over Mealy.
Yep.
I believe, right? And then 2 votes for Emmett. I took Dan Martins. I took me. Dan took me, and Emmett took Scott. So Scott, you got a fan out here. And
because mid-Sunday afternoon, when I'm like, oh man, it's really cool that Lad McConkey has 2 touchdowns. Oh wait.
And then lastly, 2 of us took Dan, and Emmett took Daly. All right, Emmett, thank you very much for being fan of the week for week 1. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the bar.
Of course, guys.
Hang up on him.
Having me.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Boys, good night.
Bye.
Right, everyone, thank you for sticking around. This was ended up being a longer one, but hopefully we tighten it up as we go along. We're going to do week-by-week reviews and just how the matchups went. Every single week, we're going to have fan of the week. So thank you to week 1's fan of the week, Emmett Marks. Really appreciate you stepping outside, having a couple White Claws, and having a chat with us. Hopefully your picks work out. Dan, any final words?
I was just really excited that we got to have our fan of the week. We know how much he loves the pod. He only ever writes positive things on the forum. And he definitely never interrupts me when I talk. So yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for the time. Really appreciate it. This has been Small Claims, and we'll talk to you again soon.